Saul trembled as his army fled in fear. Jonathan trusted God for the impossible. He and his armor-bearer climbed with courage. With God's help, Jonathan defeated many. Saul arrived, but the Lord had acted first. David was anointed by Samuel in secret. His heart brought peace to Saul's troubled mind. Goliath defied Israel day after day. David stepped forward in bold faith. One stone from David brought Goliath down. Saul was amazed by David's courage. Jonathan's soul was deeply bound to David's. He gave David his robe, sword, and trust. David led Israel to many victories. Songs praised David more than Saul. Saul became jealous and angry inside. He tried to kill David with a spear. Jonathan pleaded for David's safety. Saul pretended to listen, still plotting. Jonathan promised to test Saul's heart. Arrows would signal danger or peace. Saul raged when David missed the feast. He even hurled a spear at Jonathan. Jonathan was heartbroken and afraid. The arrow flew far to warn David. The friends met and wept together. David fled to Nob and found help. Saul ordered the priests to be slain. David escaped and hid in the hills. Jonathan came secretly to encourage him. "You will be king and I'll stand beside you." They renewed their covenant before God. Jonathan returned to face his father again. David spared Saul's life in a cave. Saul confessed David's greater righteousness. David waited in faith for God's time. The Philistines gathered for a great war. Saul heard nothing from God in the night. Jonathan joined his father for battle. David feared for his dear friend's life. David stayed with the Philistines for safety, but the Philistine rulers mistrusted him. David was sent away from the battle. Jonathan stood firm on Mount Gilboa. The Israelites trembled at the enemy's power. Jonathan fought bravely despite the odds. He was struck down and died in battle. Saul fell on his sword after being wounded. Their bodies were dishonored by the enemy. A messenger told David what had happened. David mourned with torn clothes and fasting. "How the mighty have fallen," he cried aloud. He grieved Jonathan more than words could say. David honored both Saul and Jonathan in death. He taught Judah a song of mourning. David sought God's guidance for his future. He was crowned king in Hebron at last. He blessed those who buried Saul with honor. Through pain, David trusted God's purpose. His kingdom stood firm through faith and grace. Jonathan's memory lived on in David's heart. "Is anyone left of Jonathan's family?" he asked. David learned of Mephibosheth, Jonathan's son. "You will always eat at my table," David said. David restored Saul's land to Mephibosheth. He fulfilled the covenant with kindness. David ruled Israel with strength and mercy. The friendship of Jonathan and David endured forever.